everyone. How are we doing today? I hope you're doing well. It's becoming a daily trend now that I get up and watch the stock market open. Just kind of want to see what's going on. I guess there's a couple of things that I'm encouraged by. Both yesterday's open, really the whole day yesterday, kind of held together, in my opinion, especially when it became obvious that the Senate failed to pass their version of the bill a couple of times, some kind of floor committee or whatnot. Lots of blaming going on, which is typically what politicians do. But as far as the market, right, that leading indicator that kind of tells us what's coming, it was telling us that everybody knows that a bill is going to get done. I would certainly hope to see the bill, pass the Senate today. It'll probably take till tomorrow to end up on the president's desk. But something's got to get done, right? I've been telling you for days now that it's got to get done by Thursday, because if we don't tell or show, actually show America that we're going to take care of its citizens, this thing could go the wrong way. I did a video yesterday about what I think about the chances of a Great Depression. That was actually a question from this live stream yesterday, which I appreciated. And yeah, we had to think about, right? Because that's certainly within the realm of possibility. But I'm encouraged by how the market's behaving. The market will certainly turn before the economy. It will certainly turn before the health numbers, right? The tests, who's infected, fatalities, all of that. So the market is interesting to watch just for that. Because again, it'll paint the picture of what's to hopefully come in the economy. I will say that I'm disappointed by both sides. There's never an emergency that politicians don't try to take advantage of. Again, why I don't call myself a Democrat or a Republican. I first off don't like labels, period. It sort of creates an us and them, which I think is the wrong strategy. I think you talk logically about a bill or anything, and you go, here, I'm on this, I'm on that, and you can't put me in a category like that. So on one side, I was disappointed about what is now referred to in most medias as the slush fund. All of us, all Americans, are putting up, at least if you believe what I'm hearing, $500 million that would go kind of unchecked. That had to be fixed. That was not okay. Could that have been fixed in a subsequent bill? Absolutely. Did it have to stop this one from being approved yesterday? Not really. You can always amend a bill. That was kind of tacky, but that was not okay. Then on the other side, why not try to stop shoving things in this that have nothing to do with this crisis? Just because you think you can slide some stuff in, it's that important that you'll get your wish list. That's tacky. That's not addressing the problem. That's just not okay either. So, just politicians irk me and disappoint me all the time. But I think we're going to get some good news today. I really do. I think we're going to get some good news. It has to happen. None of them want a Great Depression. None of them want to see that as a realm of possibility. So something will get done. Money will start coming. And for that, we will all feel better. I do expect a short squeeze today. A bear market bounce, whatever you choose to call it, is very likely. We get any whisper of real good news, the stock market will be up big time. And, if it could be big enough news where we are up 2 days in a row. I don't think we've strung 2 positive days in a row together in a while. I wouldn't call that the bottom. I still think, as I've said now for a week, we still have 2 weeks of scary data, and we're only into day 2 of a 10-day cycle. I think we have 8 more days of getting ready for horrific news and results, but we've got to get to the bottom to get out of this. I can't say that enough. Some things I am encouraged by is what I see going on in China. And again, this is not China telling us, to be clear, right? Like you, I don't believe the numbers when things were bad, but I also don't believe the numbers when they're good. So it's not like, and I see some people now coming out and saying, "Whoa, China's this, China's that." I mean, who's your source? Well, China. Well, then that's not helpful, right? Why can you tell me their metrics are bad on one side and good on the other? That's just, I'm not okay with that. But I just listened to Starbucks CEO, an American citizen, a businessman for a long time, talk about numbers in China. They've also talked about how they've had to change their business, right? Drive-throughs and things of that nature. And I'm encouraged by what I saw, right? They've opened over 90% of the stores there. I trust him. Could it be 88% and he's rounding up? Sure. But it's not 50%. Has he opened some stores in Wuhan? Yes. Now, do I think it's in the heart of the city? No. So I certainly think there's some spend going on, but still, good news is good news. Let's take it from a source that we know, and we should at least trust on many levels. And I think that's pretty cool. The other thing we need to realize is at least Starbucks in China, they've been suffering with this for 9 weeks, right? Most of the US is kind of in week 2 of this, at least the populace. So it gives us a view of what the future could look like, right? 7 weeks out, stuff coming back, Apple opens its stores. So we have multiple data sources saying China is restarting. That should be encouraging. And that's what the stock market will start to see, but we've got to get to the bottom first. The other things are, if you go back and listen to this, these daily millionaire cycles, I'm really glad they're recorded because a lot of things we talked about are happening. First off, it looks like the Olympics are going to be postponed a year. That was a layup. It just had to happen, right? You were going to have countries not send athletes if they didn't. That's not okay. We're going to be sending checks. There's lots of things coming. I'm expecting Thursday's unemployment number to be 2 million, right? That's the number, right? Over, under, and I'm going to take the over. I think it's that bad. And I think the following week could be equally as bad, right? That's what I keep talking about. We're going to have 2 weeks of really bad numbers. I also think that we need to shut the country down. I think we need to take the good news of sending checks, and we just need to go on, we just need to stay in place with the whole country, right? If only 3 or 4 or 5 states are doing this, but the rest of the country is acting like nothing's happening, that doesn't help, I don't think. So I don't know. At least we need to prevent people coming in and out of the hot spots, right? That's just not helpful because it could just be carried so easily somewhere else. Really, the key to this, right? If you go back and look at what happened in other countries, the answer boils down to test, 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 right? This social distancing is meant to buy us time. I firmly believe this is not going to go away entirely, right? It's not like going to suddenly disappear. But if we ramp up testing and we go from 1 or 5 million or whatever it is to 20 or 30 million test kits, which is I think what we need to do, we can streamline the process, know who's got it quickly. Otherwise, people are going to be afraid. We just got to stop the American consumer being afraid. That's all I ever look at is cost of capital and what's the consumer. Damn it, the consumer is afraid. That's why all these calls are pretty easy to make, right? You can argue logic. Logic doesn't hold when you're emotionally afraid. Most decisions are made on emotion and justified logically. I have deleted or unfollowed or whatever the right word is so many people on my Facebook page. It's now my daily sport. If you're trying to argue logic in the face of an emotional crisis, you're going to lose. And if you're making stock suggestions based on logic and an emotional move, man, you're going to get wrecked. The other thing I'm starting to look about is life's going to change, right? I'm already starting to look past this, right? Because I'm confident money's going to flow, the consumer's going to feel better, we're going to be out of this in 30 to 45 days. So how does life change? That's what you need to be thinking about. Life is going to change. For example, Monday morning, I was like, ooh, I'm nervous about the New York Stock Exchange, right? First day it's ever going to do electronic trading. Opens, no problem. Trades all day, no problem. Day 2, open, no problem. So I'm asking myself, why does the New York Stock Exchange need to have people on the floor? That's a way. Why have it? I'm seriously, why? I mean, if they're trading as well electronically, why have the floor? Get rid of that lease. Get rid. I mean, that's going to happen. We're going to find businesses that figured it out, and they're going to give up office space. Office space is. Whew, Carl Icahn's a genius shorting office space, right? Retail. Retail's going to change, right? Retail's going to change from shoving everybody in a store to more shop online, but it's going to be about the experience. Maybe there'll be personal shoppers, or maybe they'll be guided to. I don't know, but the world is going to change. The thing that I really think is going to happen is luxury brands are going to fall apart. Luxury is going to be done a year after this. People should hopefully learn from this crisis that having zero emergency funds, the inability to suffer a $400 surprise expenses is not a way to live. And you only fix that equation one of two ways. You either increase revenue, income, or you lower expenses. And the easiest thing for all of us to do is lower expenses. And I think that's going to happen in a big way. I don't even think we retailers understand how much this crisis is going to affect buying decisions. If you got some time, read about the Great Depression, right? I remember researching this a bunch in the 80s, I think. Maybe it was early 90s. No, it was probably early 90s. I mean, there were grandparents that were still recycling aluminum foil, right? You suddenly try to figure out what you can keep versus throw away, what you need versus what you want. I think there will be a tremendous change in consumer psychology. I think that's going to affect real estate as well. I think having a second home suddenly is going to become a non-thing. You'll just rent an Airbnb or a hotel. I think owning the biggest house on the block is not going to become a thing. I think people are going to downsize. I really think this event is going to cause consumer behavior to change. The question is that a 2020 change? And then we all recycle back once we forget it and the stock market's back at record highs and yeehaw, we're all gung-ho again? Maybe. Maybe. I hope not, but in reality, probably, it's probably going to go that way. A couple of things, a couple of people that I'm wondering where they are. First off, Warren Buffett, right? Warren Buffett was a constant stream of calming influence on the news medias in '08. Now, granted, he's 12 years older. I think he's 89 now, so wow, good for him. He's certainly in a high risk category, right? It's 89. It's a little bit overweight. I don't think I'm speaking out of turn. It's you can see it with the eye test. So I get it if he's hunkering down, no problem. But $134 billion in cash when cash is king. Now maybe he's somewhere looking at lots of deals and all of that, but I think he told us that last time. I'm wondering where Warren Buffett is. I'd like to hear from him this week just to feel better. I really would. The other one is Dr. Fauci. I hope I'm saying that right. He was a calming influence when I heard him speak about the virus, kind of has the track record of helping during other epidemics and other issues. Frankly, I liked the fact that he was like not afraid to speak his mind, even though the commander in chief, I don't know, disagreed with him or said something stupid. He was willing to. This is what I think, and I think the fact that he's been put in the background says more about the commander in chief than anything else. I don't think that's a good look. I think the American people need to hear from Dr. Fauci. He's earned that right. He has the track record, and disagreement is healthy. You don't need a bunch of yes men because that leads to bad decisions. So I'd like to see him back front and center. I don't care if he's front and center all by himself. Let the man speak. If he's proven to be speaking things that are wrong and lies, he'll be embarrassed by that and ruin his reputation. But I don't think that's the case. I think you just don't like what he's saying. And we're on wartime footing like you keep talking about. So hey ho, let's go, right? I mean, I don't understand. So in the end, again, I expect a bill today. I expect this to calm the American populace. We're all afraid. I do expect I do expect more and more mortgage companies and car loans and student loans just to create a pause button. It may even be in these bills that are getting approved. So everybody's going to feel better. We're going to give everybody a chance to take a pause, everybody's equal. We're all equal. Nobody's going to get special treatment. We're going to send some money out. We're going to hit pause button on expenses, and then we're going to get through this. But the question you need to ask is, what changes after? Your job may not come back. Your business may not come back. Your business may have to change. Frankly, maybe it's the best time to start a business, right? If you go back and look at history, recessions and depressions are the best time to start a business. There were many businesses that we think of today that are iconic that started in the Great Depression. This will be an opportunity. We will have green shoots. This will pass. It will get better. We will return to all-time highs. How are you going to take advantage of it? The market's going to change. Are you ready? Are you going to just let it run you over? What are you going to do? I think that's what we need to start thinking about. Now, if the bill doesn't get approved and we get to Thursday, then we'll have a different discussion Friday morning. But I'm pretty confident something's going to get done. Yeah, so that's a good day. I think today will turn out to be a good day. I don't think it's a buying opportunity, short squeeze, bear market bounce, whatever you want to call it. I think 2 days of positive numbers on the Dow or stocks are possible, but we have so much bad news ahead. Again, we're day 2 of day 10 of 10 days that I think are going to be pretty scary. So let's see what happens. Everybody be well, be safe, have fun. Go ahead and leave comments below. Take care.